Oh, hello, YouTube. I'm back again with Season 1, Episode 2 of MURDERBOT. I am loving this series so far. I am so excited about it. And like Episode 2, so much fun. Let's just dive in. I'm going to review and recap, maybe compare it to the book a little bit. Let's go. So in Episode 1, the scientists are a little suspicious of MURDERBOT. So Episode 2 begins with the scientists all having a secret meeting on the Hopper, which is like their transportation plane. And they're all trying to come up with a plan to figure out why there's blank spots in their maps. And realistically, the only way to really figure out what's in the blank spot on the map is to physically go there and look. So it's not the greatest of plans. Garothin is so adamant that they do not even tell Murderbot that they're going on this mission. They don't want anything to do with this security unit. It could be trying to hurt them. It's from the company, you know? And Garothin and Murderbot have this really contentious relationship for a lot of, frankly, the book and this episode in particular. However, Murderbot and Garothin are also the most similar personality-wise. Garothin considers this team like his friends, so he genuinely loves and trusts them and he will protect them. However, Garothin doesn't know how to express or understand feelings, so they come off as rather prickly and kind of like an a-hole. So, I mean, does that obviously remind you of Murderbot? They're very similar characters. So I think that's kind of how their relationship is going to develop for the rest of the season. But anyway, they're in the Hopper coming up with a plan, one that excludes Murderbot from it. All of a sudden, the door opens and they're like, oh shit, Murderbot found out about us. But it's not Murderbot. You know who it is? It's Bardwaj, the scientist who got bit by the centipede monster Episode 1. So Bardwaj was very lucky their medical unit works great. So they're almost back to normal. I wouldn't say they're 100%, but probably 90%. But anyway, the team comes to the conclusion that Dr. Mensa, their leader, is going to take the Hopper over to one of the blank spots and just go look. Bardwaj is like, hey, I have the science skills you need for that, so I'm gonna go with you. They're gonna leave as soon as possible because they're not bringing Murderbot with them. You know, the robot they have to protect them. It seems like a bad decision. It's every chance they have, the humans make the worst decision they can possibly make. So cut to Murderbot waking up in the morning. They've been in their stasis pod all night, getting all of their parts fixed from being eaten by centipede monster. So they wake up, realize the Hopper's gone, and they're like, well, shit. These humans need to get themselves killed on their own time, not on mine. So Murderbot starts the day off quite grumpy. And then the day goes from kind of shitty to really shitty because at that moment, Garothin's like, hey, Murderbot, I see that you're awake. Come join me. And for pretty much the rest of the episode, Garothin is just interrogating Murderbot and trying to see are all of your responses normal? Do they match up with what a sec unit would do? It feels very Blade Runner-y when they're asking them random questions and seeing what their responses are to figure out their replicant. So Garothin is just trying to get a bead on Murderbot here. And it is just torture for Murderbot. Murderbot hates this. This is their nightmare. And Garothin even issues a direct command to Murderbot that they have to make and maintain eye contact with them, which Murderbot fucking hates. This is tantamount to literal torture. And the fact that Murderbot doesn't just smash Garothin's head, which would be very easy, shows how infinitely merciful they're being in this moment. And since this is so painful, Murderbot's trying to do anything they can to distract themselves from this. So they're looking at all the different camera feeds around the hub and what the other team members are up to. In particular, this episode, we're focusing more on Dr. Arata. She was the one who went into shock in Episode 1, and her wife, Pinley. After the whole recent scare where Arata could have been killed, Pinley is kind of emotional. She genuinely wants Arata to be happy, and she loves her so much. And Pinley knows one thing that would make Arata super happy would be to initiate a throuple with one of the other team members, Rati. So Pinley writes up a contract and is like, You want a thruple? And of course, Arata's like, yay, I do want a thruple. So Murderbot is having to multitask here, seeing all of that in like the security feeds, and also has Garothin, who's like an augmented human. So basically that means they have like computer parts implanted into their brain or other body parts. So Garothin could also like sync up to like the computer systems in the hub. And he keeps trying to like get into Murderbot's like computer parts, and Murderbot is not happy with that. He's like, get out of my head. You know what? Here, want to see what's in my head? Here's the security cameras. So just turns that on. So Garothin gets a whole eye full of Arata, Pinley, and Rati just being intimate. Messily so. So yikes, Garothin is also grossed out by human sexuality. So yeah, I think Garothin's probably not going to try to poke around in Murderbot's brain for a little bit if that's what's going on in there. But it's at this moment that they get interrupted because boom, Murderbot gets a ping from the hopper that there's a threat level rise. Oh no, something's going on with the other team members. So let's go check on Mensa and Bardwaj. They have landed close to one of the blank spots in the map, and Mensa's off on her own trying to walk up this really steep like sand dune hill thing, and it's also like raining and there's a storm brewing, and she wants to like be able to bring back some samples and stuff, and Bardwaj is staying at the ship to like monitor the situation and like also keep the car ready if they need to run real quick sort of situation. And Dr. Mensa is not doing well. This is a very physically taxing situation that they're in. Also, it's scary. They're on a new planet. Their equipment is malfunctioning due to like static in the air and the storm. So they start like having a full-on panic attack because Dr. Mensa does suffer from them. She had another one in the first episode. Now she's having another one in episode 2. So I think this is like a disorder she has. And while panic attacks can be serious, there are other more pressing issues to attend to. So Murderbot taps into her comms and is like, Dr. Mensa, you need to get your ass back to the hopper now because threat levels are rising and they keep going up. You need to get out of there. But you know, Mensa's a human and she doesn't listen to droids when they try to tell her, hey, you're gonna be in trouble. So she's like, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna keep going. I guess it's because she's pretty close to where the blank spot is. She's like, well, I came all this way. I'm gonna finish it. You know, don't listen to the security bot that's been telling people when threats are there. And of course, it's right at this moment, they finally start understanding the readings that they're getting, and it's exactly the same as the last time giant centipede monster creature popped out of the ground. And wouldn't you know, right at this moment, giant centipede creature monster pops out of the ground right behind Mensa. But this is Mensa's luckiest day because for some reason, this centipede monster was not interested in a snack. It just kind of crawls over Mensa and up and over the hill. And then as it's going down the hill, it kind of just immediately dies, which is weird. So Mensa looks over the top of the hill and they see this huge orb and like it's shooting out like a force field around it and it like kills their drone. And apparently it also kills giant centipede monsters. So Mensa's like, you know what? I think I'm going to go back to the hopper. That seems like a good idea. So Mensa back to the hopper. They go back to the hub. And the team is like, what the fuck was that? No one knows. They're like, there's a blank spot in the map. And then there's a giant orb producing force fields and killing centipede monsters. Like something is weird. And Rati's the one who comes up with the answer here that like, that's alien tech. Because apparently in this universe, like if you're on a new world and you're mining or excavating or something and you find ancient alien tech, you got to get the hell out of there because it's illegal to continue your excavation for multiple reasons. One, resources and like corporations and blah, 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 all that stuff. But also alien relics are bananas dangerous. You don't know what they do. No one does. And it kills centipede monsters. What do you think it's going to do to you? Like, this is a dangerous situation. And everyone is in full agreement that this is fucking weird. What is going on here? There's another survey team on the other side of the planet. Let's call them up. Like maybe they have notes, maybe they know what's going on here. So they call them up. No one answers. And they're like, all right, well, I guess we're getting in the hopper. We're going to go visit them and see like maybe their comms are down or something. But what they don't know is that if they show up there, they're not going to find anybody because that whole other team has been like slaughtered horribly. It is a bloodbath over there. The people are dead, and even the sec units are dead. Something bad has happened there. So we'll find out more next episode, because that is right where the episode ends, on kind of a cliffhanger. And since I've read the book, I know where episode 3 is gonna go, and it's gonna be a good one. Murderbot has to fight other sec units. I'm sorry, spoiler, the book has been out for a minute, okay? But yeah, there's gonna be sec unit fights. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be really action-packed. So overall, still, I am really enjoying this series so far. Episode 2 was slower in general because a lot of it was just like people talking to each other. However, we do get alien orb, a thruple, and centipede monster. So there was some action, but most of it was very kind of low stakes. Let me know in the comments down below. Is there one thing, either from the book or just in general, that you would love to see this season on Murderbot? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, make sure you give it a like. If you want to see more videos, make sure you subscribe. And if you want cool exclusive content, including early access to videos and a book club, you can consider becoming a channel member or a patron. Links for that are in the description down below. And on that note, I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.